Hello? Hello, hello. Today started smooth. That's nice. How's it going, everybody? It's Tuesday. And we're painting a cheeseburger, okay? That's a good day if you ask me. Let me see all of this. Woo. I've been forgetting to time-lapse these sessions lately. So we've got one coming today. Hi guys. How's it going? How's your weekend? What's up? You know, the usual. Cheeseburger has been actually requested more than you guys would think. So we're just running with food this week. Thursday we're gonna be doing some pancakes. Hey, here's the first person to actually suggest it, the McCloy family. And they also suggested tacos. I'm not gonna lie to you, I couldn't find a good taco picture that I think would like work well for everybody yet. It's not off the table, it's just not... Hello, Hayden. Perfect. The birthday boy last week spent his birthday with us. Now we're on to burgers. Now you're just getting hungry. I know, guys, I assumed I'm gonna be craving burgers this whole time, too. I just ate dinner, but trust me, I feel ya on that one. It'll be fun. This one's gonna be super easy, super fun. I promise. Alright? Also, hi, Justin. What else do we got here? Do we got any newbies? I don't know. Hey, yo, Tayo. Okay, I have to tell you guys a funny story, actually, before we get into it with Hey, yo, Tayo. I am Hey, yo, Tayo in Justin's phone, like, that's what my name is, and when you ask Siri to call, he goes like, Siri, call Hey, yo, Tayo, and she goes, calling Hey, yo, Tayo. I love it. Ash Biz is a newbie here. We love newbies. Welcome. I'm gonna go over my spiel for you so you get the vibe of how it works. Super easy, no pressure. We're here to have fun. Everyone's burgers are gonna turn out different but adorable. Okay? Because what's our favorite word, everybody? Trust the process. You have to trust the process because halfway through, I guarantee you your burger's gonna look weird and you're gonna be like, do I even know what I'm doing? And you do. You just gotta trust it. And I promise that at the end it'll turn out. Nobody gives up, okay, you guys? Nobody's allowed. Hey, it's Adrian here, but instead of date night, you're here with your friend Ava. Hey, that's a date night itself as well. Oh, you're babysitting and she's 9. Okay, well, girls' night. We can call it that way, hey? Eva! That's... Oh, just like Wally, Eva. I know, hey, who is this person? Hair down. It's just been muggy and rainy and overcast all day here in Calgary. It's just been cold, so I just felt like tossing on the toque. Did I say Ava? Because my aunt's Ava. Eva, don't worry, Eva. I will not say it wrong again today. I promise. It reminds me of the little Wally Eva. Baron here. Your attitude, I just called you because his username's Baditude. Refresh. I always forget he can't hear me, so if somebody wants to tell him to let me see here. Refresh, Baron. Because if other people can hear me, then you guys should, then it might be something on your end. Okay, what colors do we need? Okay, we're gonna get to it. All right, we'll just go through the spiel now, you guys. Welcome to Tuesdays with your host, Taytayski, right? Here to paint a little cutie little cheeseburger down here. You can screenshot it from my story, which is Taytayski, which is down here. Where is it? Right here. If you want to see it close up, sometimes it really helps to look at what you are drawing, and you can kind of start seeing why I'm choosing to do things that I'm doing, and then you can maybe do it yourself later. That's my goal, is that you guys are going to go out and just, like, draw things yourselves using shapes, okay? What else we got? Some people might like to start... Oh my gosh, you guys, with the cutie jar. Thank you. Some people like to start with pencil, and that is totally okay. I teach it with a paintbrush, but if you want to get a pencil out because you're more comfortable with that when you're first drawing out shapes, that's totally fine. Pencil's cool. Just don't press very hard, because if you press super hard, you're going to get this graphite dust on your canvas, and when you get paint onto it, it's going to mix in with your paint like it's like black paint, basically, and your colors are going to get muddy, and you're going to be sad. So don't press too hard. What else we got? Please ask questions. I'm not like a professional teacher by any means. I might go too fast. I might explain something weird. Let me know, because some people can't comment. They're just watching at home without a caffeine account, so maybe your question will help them. I record these. They go to YouTube. Those people watching in the future might have the same question that you do, so you might really help somebody out. So never be scared. Hello. Hi, Daryl. Good to see you. Never be scared to ask a question. I teach it the easiest, most straightforward way, and then you can decide if you want to add more detail or push it further according to your comfortability level. Okay? I think that's about it. We do use acrylic paints. I always say that if you have black, white, yellow, red, and blue, 5? I just forgot how to count for a second. You can make any color in the rainbow. So don't stress if you don't have extra colors, because mixing is totally possible. But if you have like oranges or browns, those are great to have, because then you don't have to mix it. It's just straight out of the tube, easy peasy. But I will always teach how to mix the color we're using with those 5 colors that I mentioned at the start. Okay? Those primary colors. I don't know if you guys remember back in kindergarten when we learned about primary colors. Was it kindergarten, or am I just like an art kid and I just think that everyone learns that? I don't know. I still have to wear the creepy glove. Okay? My apologies. I look like Michael Jackson. What do I see here? I'm missing some comments. You love that we call it a toque. Oh yeah, right, you guys. A toque is such a Canadian thing, and I always forget. What do you guys call this? Like a beanie? It's not a toque, it's a... What do you Americans call it? A beanie. Yeah, see, that's weird to me. Like, a beanie... No offense. A beanie to me is like Bob Marley. Like, you know, like Bob Marley's like big saggy toque. I feel like that's like a beanie. Maybe not. I don't know. It's a toque. Okay. So, we'll get those colors out. I don't like... Sorry, guys. I'm just like jumping around. Welcome to my brain. I personally don't take out colors that I don't need until I need them. So it's okay. I will always say, like, I'm taking out this color and putting it on there. I just like to save my paints. Like, sometimes you won't use a color for a while and it will dry up. So don't worry about, like, prepping your palette. If you have, that's okay too. That's just a me thing. Don't worry, Baron. As we go, I'll tell you what colors to grab. So if you guys have... like an orange. If you only have those colors that I mentioned before, yellow and red make orange. So we're just gonna take out an orange. I use cadmium orange here. Ooh, can you see it? But I don't want you to feel pressure that you guys have to use that color. I just, some people like to know. Just gonna take out a tiny little touch of orange onto your palette. Oh, I'm kind of starting a touch early. Oh, and random guy, hello. Sorry, guys, my brain's everywhere as usual. Thank you, as usual, for sharing the broadcast. Always appreciate that. You're the best. Okay, you guys, are we, like, kind of ready to go? Does anyone feel nervous? Are we okay? Can you hear me now, Baron? We're all about having fun, you guys. I make it very easy. It's a good time. I don't want anyone to be stressed, okay? So, take a deep breath. Eva's nervous for her first paint night. Girl, don't you worry. And embarrassed who said it. I won't talk about it too much, but know that literally every single person who does this for the first time is nervous. So, that's a normal, even adults. We have grandparents, we have kids, we have everybody in the group, and everyone always feels nervous their first time. It's a normal thing, okay? Oh, you're on. Okay, good, Baron. I'm glad we figured that part out. Okay, you guys. Like I said, acrylic paint is great. You can cover up any mistakes you make, so it's very hard to make a mistake. we are going to take a little brush, whatever, it can be small. Oops, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. If you want, it can be very small. Like maybe some people like to go a little bit skinnier, like something like that. Thanks, Chloe, or Hayden, or Justine, whoever's on the other end there. You can use even if you want really tiny, you can go really tiny if you want. If you want to start with a pencil, start with a pencil. But if you're using paint like me, you're going to grab your paintbrush in your water over here. You can see this is my little water container. And you're going to scoop water with your paintbrush onto your palette where your orange is. And you're just going to take like the tiniest touch of paint. So like see how I'm just mixing in this pool of water that we made. I'm just mixing like the tiniest little touch of orange in there ever. And the reason we're doing that is because we're just doing some outlines right now, like light, easy outline that we're going to paint over top after. And so if we mess up at this stage, it's okay because we're using like very, very little amount of paint. I like to say that you're mixing your paint down here like a little bit like chocolate milk consistency almost. Maybe Eva, if you drink chocolate milk. Try to mix your water and your paint into a chocolate milky consistency. And we're going to start by, you can do this way too, like some people might want to put their burgers this way. I just thought I wanted to make like a big fat burger, so I'm just going to put it this way. And you're going to take a breath. And you're going to acknowledge your whole canvas because it's very easy and common for people to just like get intimidated and draw their picture very small at the bottom. So look at your whole canvas and decide where you want that burger to go. And you're just going to start by drawing a line. This is the bottom of your burger, okay? This is where the bottom of the bun is going to go. Like, I'm making mine pretty tall. She's going to be big. But this is the bottom of my burger. And I'm just going to bring it close to show you guys, like, how it's basically just water. Like, when that dries, it's going to dry really faint. It might even drip a little bit. You guys know that I like when your paint drips, but some people don't. Just put a little bit less water. But wasn't that easy? Look at that. You can even bring up the sides if you want. Easy peasy, you guys. And gals. Sorry, that's another thing I say a lot. I say cutie a lot, and I say guys. You guys. Easy? Look, we got the bun. Boom. How about you just draw a line on top of that? And if you want to get really crazy, you can even make that line go over top, the bottom. I'm just going to do mine a bit darker so that you guys can see it from far away. Here we go. You still use that really light consistency paint. Don't worry about that. But I'm just darkening it up so that you guys can see it from far away. Boop. There we go. We drew the line right over top. It basically just looks like a plate right now, hey? And then you're gonna decide, I just stuttered, gotta decide how big do you want your burger? Some of you guys might even, maybe it's a Beyond Beef burger. Maybe it's a chicken burger. It could be whatever you want, okay? But you gotta decide how thick do you want your patty to be, because that is what we are drawing next. And you're just gonna put a line across. Ooh, I made mine pretty fat. That's okay. We like them thick, right? With 2 C's thick. And you're just gonna draw a line across. Remember, you're still using that really watery paint. Mine's just a little darker so you guys can see it, but a thick one, exactly, Justin. 2 C's thick. We're just mapping stuff out, because remember, like, this is gonna be brown. We're gonna have a tomato. Those are gonna be different colors, but that's right now we're just planning out where we want it all to go. Okay? And to put the side, or like to, I don't know, cap off the burger, let's just make a little curve. Oh, I kind of made it. I made mine pretty far. Maybe bring it in a little bit more than I brought it out, but if you didn't, that's okay. If you're working on canvas, You can dip like a rag, a paper towel, whatever you want. And just wipe away. Let me see here. Did my live just tweak out on you? Blink if you're alive, guys. Are you still here? On my end, it just looks like something crashed, so I hope... Eva says wait. Okay, cool. Okay, good. Weird. It literally says that there's nobody in here. Everything just went whoop, bye. Eva says wait. Okay, no worries. We've got a bun. We've got almost a patty. You guys, this is a very... I don't know if I told you before, but we have a very easy painting coming, okay? We might have to, like, paint more food later, because I'm probably going to be done before the 2 hours is up. Who knows? Okay. Don't worry, Eva, if you're not... Want fries with that? Hey, Dresden, good call. We might have to add some fries. Okay. Don't worry, Eva, if yours not ready, because I have to do it again on the other side, so it's very okay. Remember, we're just bubbling off that burger end with just a little bloop. You're just doing that on both sides. It almost looks like a hot dog at the moment. Bloop. It does look like we're just painting a hot dog at the moment, doesn't it, guys? Oh my gosh, I haven't even started my coffee. We're good? Good. Okay, perfect. Okay, dokie. You painted your canvas blue earlier for a fun, colorful background. Hopefully this works. You know what? I think you're good because you're... The only reason that I don't paint the backgrounds first in these classes is because I don't know the quality of everybody's paints. And some paint quality would have a very hard time painting on top of blue or whatever. But I know that you have a pretty good quality because you did your Yodas on the black canvas before, right? So I think you'd be fine. We are going to paint our background blue too, but I always just do it halfway through just in case some people's paint can't handle it, if that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, weird, guys. It keeps saying 0. Well, I'm just going to believe that y'all are here with me. Okay. So, we have the patty, and now the tomato is basically the same thing, but it's just a little thinner, okay? Look at that. Tomato. Tomato. If you want to get a little more detail in there so that it's a little bit more perspectively correct, you can go on the top line and you can kind of just curve it down a tiny touch and come back up. So you see how I've curved in that line a little bit? So it's going to show that that tomato has a top and it's curved in shape. When we color it red, it'll make more sense. But there we go. And for the lettuce, I'm not going to do it in orange. We're going to come back to the lettuce in a second. But we're going to acknowledge where the lettuce is going to go. But we're still using this fun orange color. We're still using that watered down consistency. We're still using a small brush. And let's go maybe like the same width of the patty or maybe even a little bit more. Maybe you guys like more lettuce. Maybe you like no lettuce. You decide where you want your lettuce to go. But we're just going to put the bun top. So we're just going to put one line. Again. Some people might want to use a ruler when they make the line because they like things to be more particular. I personally hate rulers, so I avoid them at all costs. But, I keep smudging it with my glove. But there's some people who like to paint a lot more particularly and straight and clean, and there's nothing wrong with that either. So we've got that line for the bottom of the bun. And this next step is because I never know what's hard or what's easy for people, so I'm going to show you 2 different ways of doing it. So one way, an easy way to do it is by putting a dot where you want the top of your bun to be. And then you can carry it up on both sides to match to top to that little spot, if that makes sense. For some people, it might literally be easier to just one hand swipe a big curved top. But for some people, it might be easier to just do one. You go up and come over a little bit, up to your little dot that you drew. And then maybe you like to do the same way, or you can start from the top again and come back down. Beep. Guys, look at this burger. Is it a Krabby Patty right now? It looks pretty Krabby Patty-esque. All right. Cheeseburgers. Always just stealing everything and just putting Tay on it. Okay, look. Okay, you guys, Eva already is proving the trust the process, the motto of the class, because she did it and it looks so good and she's already so proud of herself already. We're proud of you too. And you're not even, you just wait till we get some color in there, girl. You just wait. Okay, so you, like, realistically, we've got the burger basically down, okay? One thing we're just gonna do now-ish, because people liked it last time, so we're gonna continue with that. We are gonna paint the background so that when we paint all these extra layers on top, it'll kind of go over top our already painted background and it'll save us some time of cleaning stuff up later. So realistically right now, we just kind of need this to dry fully, because if it's any bit wet and we get close to it with our background color, it will get muddy and mix and not be a fun time. So we are going to let this dry for like a minute or two. It shouldn't take too long. And I'm just going to take out a blue, like this is light blue permanent. It's just a, come on camera, there we go. Boop. Just a light blue. If you have the dark blue and you want to make it lighter, just add a bunch of white to it. We're just going to start slobbing on some blue in the background, okay? Boop. I'm so happy Eva's excited. Justin is quoting my one of my favorite words, schlob it. It's the best verb I could think for when I want you to just put paint on and not think about where it's going. You're supposed to just like let your paint hand free. Justin's ready to market it, guys. I'm in. My coffee's so cold. Okay. Like I said, not a big deal if yours isn't dry yet. You can wait a little. Like, I'm not going to go too much further ahead from you. I'm just going to start a bit because it's easier for me to answer questions after. Some of you might want to like blow on it. You can like, if it's not too wet, you can like fan dry it. You can literally blow dry it with blow dryer. Very low setting though, I'd suggest on that because it could spray the paint if it's really watery. So we're just copying Baron as well. Oh yes, trust the process. Here we go. Thanks, Justin. Trust the process. Schlob it on. Cutie jar. Those are about it, right? I think so. I'm trying to look at my little list. Okay, so as I said, schlobbing. I personally, when I do backgrounds, I like it having a little bit of texture with your paintbrush. So like I like going in crazy different directions. I like having some lighter spots than others. I like more paint chunks in some spots. Just be kind of careful when you come close to the line that you've already drawn. Just be a little more gentle at that spot. And leave a little bit of room for lettuce. Right? Lettuce is going to come over the side as well. And then just keep schlobbing. This gives you a chance to sit back and get a beer. See, yes, look, Baron, that's That's the bonus when you think ahead. I'm also not going to go all the way to the bottom. It's totally okay if you did already, but we're going to just imply... Oh no, I just spit there. We're just going to imply that there is a plate underneath this burger. So I'm just going to go to like right roughly about there. Okay, okay, okay. See, I'll bring it close to show you guys what I mean by like, see how some parts are like thicker than others? There's some like lighter areas. Just a little texture to make it fun. You can even like get some pure white. I can't open any of these things with this glove on. Okay. If you want, this is just like to add extra pizzazz if you'd like. I didn't even show you guys, I am using a bigger brush. Sorry about that. You can use a square brush. You can use a rounded brush. That's actually kind of square too. I mean like rounded, like this guy. How about this hand? Like that guy. But you could go between putting some blue in and then go right in your white and put maybe some little swipies of white. Just slobbing, right? Just slobbing. But also, I want you guys to take as many artistic liberties as you wish. Some people might want to paint just a smooth blue background. Go, like, please do. If that's something that you want to do, please do. You don't have to copy every single, or copy or do every single thing that I do in it. I really want you guys to take the class how you want. Because like painting very clean and smooth and precise is like very hard for me, and like I personally don't enjoy it, which is the same as how maybe some people wouldn't enjoy or like painting messy and crazy like me. So yeah, do whatever you wish. I just had a teacher in art school that like painted so precise and careful and fluffy. I say fluffy because he was just like so gentle and he cared about details and was always worried about, not worried, but focused in on all these tiny little things with tiny little brushes. And I like learned very quickly that I don't like doing that. I like just kind of throwing paint around and seeing what happens. Okay. There's a background. And I'll show you. I went very close to, I even some places might have touched or went over the line that we have drawn. But that's okay. Oh wait, come on, zoom in. What? You can do it, camera! There we go. See, I didn't really like, it's not too smooth or clean around there. It's really okay. If you go over, because we're going to be putting color over top all of that stuff. This is just a base bottom outline, right? Shoto, would you look who it is? It's been a long time. That's okay that you're late. Guys, I was almost late today, so that's okay. Alrighty, do we have some fluffy backgrounds or just some smooth, regular backgrounds or whatever background you wish? Also, yeah, it doesn't have to be blue either if you don't want to. Your rats keep being crazy. I think we talked about this last time. I live in a province, or which is equivalent to a state or whatever if you're in the States, that doesn't allow rats. We don't have rats here, you guys. We talked about this last stream, I think. We're very strict on our rat. People aren't allowed. Your background is chunky. Hey, are you okay with that or not okay with that? Do you want me to help the chunkiness of the background? Because I think chunky backgrounds are cool. Check out that chunk. Like even you can see like right over here, there's like thick pieces of paint. Yeah. Good. Okay, good. They are so sweet. See, I've heard a lot of people talk about sweet rats. I don't deny that. I'm sure that there are lots, but it's just I don't know. I don't know why we don't. But yeah, like people, other places in Canada allow them, but if those people move to Canada and they have a pet rat, like, I mean Canada, Alberta's like, no. No. So we only have mice here, like, that are as, like, on the streets or whatever you want to say. Because rats roam the streets. Okay. So, we are gonna start with... Should we start with the plate, maybe? Or just... Nah, we'll start with the burger bun. Okay. So, if you have brown, you can just take out your brown if you like. Eva needs help with her background. Okay, with what exactly are we not happy with, Eva? Or struggling with, or etc. Oh! Pfft. You forgot about the plate? No worries. Look, even if you, just to help Eva out, why don't we just, you can make the bottom blue. Maybe we actually should all make the bottom blue. Hey, that's okay. Here, look, we'll just do that. Look at Cinderella coming in here with the puns. Shoot, I'm late. Time to play catch up. Girl, you get me. I believe in you. You can catch up to where we're at now. I believe in you. Rectangle, hot dog, rectangle, bun. Done. Okay, Shoto sent us pictures of her rats, and we will, when we see everyone's process pictures, I will show them. But here, guys, if you want, you can paint the bottom blue too. Eva was just enjoying slobbing paint around and decided to slob it everywhere, and that's fine. We'll all do it. And then the plate will be easier because we'll just put white over top of this blue, and it'll kind of help us do some shading without having to do shading. So Eva's helping us out in the long run. Okay. So no worries about that. Your bottom can be blue too. You can leave it white if you guys want to paint a different color plate. Whatever works. But remember, there's no mistakes. Okay? We can solve all the problems. So, we are going to be making like a bun. Thanks, Eva. Mine was all blue too. Look at that. See what I mean, you guys? Never be scared to speak up because there's other people that might be having the same problem as you too. So, we are going to need to paint a bun, a good old burger bun. And it's going to be, it's not difficult, but there's a lot of different directions that we can go to paint this bun when it comes to coloring. Like if you have a brown, you can put a little bit of orange and yellow in there. She's asking to wait, she's not done her background. That's okay. I'll just slowly kind of talk about a couple things as we move on to the next stages of some stuff. Perry boy, it's been a while. Welcome back to the paint nights. Good to see you. But there's, like I said, with the bun, we do know that since we started with orange, we are going to have a little bit of orange in that bun somewhere. Whether we make the bun color with orange and yellow and a lot of white, whether we have some brown at home and you put a lot of white and some orange in there, it is going to be a lot of playing with your colors at home, which maybe as Eva finishes her background, we can all just kind of try. Like, let me see. I will do orange, yellow, and a little touch of white, and I'll show you what that looks like. You don't have brown, that's okay. It's a very common color that people don't have. There's like official real ways of coloring brown, and we just don't do official stuff around here. We just do quick, painless, solve the problem stuff. So one way to make brown is you can, with orange and like literally like the tiniest touch of black, and just start introducing tiny little pieces of black into there to get a brownie color. You can literally mix all of the primary colors, like the red, blue, and yellow, and you would get a brown, but it has a lot of time. Like you got to play around with a lot of those amounts of each ones. You will for sure need a little bit of white in whatever you use. You can do like orange red with a touch, like a tiny touch of blue, and keep adding tiny touches of blue. Mixing colors is like difficult. Yes, burnt sienna is brown, so this is what burnt sienna looks like. So it's just like already brown. Hey, that's actually probably, can you see? Why is it reflecting? That's actually probably a great, if you guys have burnt sienna brown, I'd add a little bit of white in there, maybe a lot of white if you look at the bottom, and that's probably a great color to make a bun out of. Certified official Taytayski brown. Oh my, just like add a little black in there. My teachers from school would probably like die if they knew that I was like mix brown by putting orange and black. It's fine. Hello Tay, are you in love to watch you from Shimmy and Europe? Oh wow, Shoto. Thanks for the note from your cutie little rats. Okay, I'm just gonna show you one. I'll do the orange, yellow with a touch of black, and I'll show you what that looks like, and we'll go from there. But we are going to need a lot of white in here anyway, because if you look at the bun over here, down here, the bottom is like a light, and the top's like toasty, right? And you guys remember, when I say about black, I'm not lying, it's the most powerful pigment out there, so if you use, I'm not joking, the tiniest amount ever, while you try to mix these colors, and then slowly just keep adding tiny amounts, because if you add too much there, it's just game over. But if you see here, like this is orange, yellow, and tiny touches of black. Oh my gosh, that looks terrible on the camera. It actually looks like brown to me. Yeah, guys, this doesn't look good to you, does it? It looks like greeny. That's just not what I'm seeing at my house here. So, okay. Let's just... Who wants a burger already? Am I right? Obviously, just brown with white would be the easiest. I just am sad that the color looks so terrible to you guys. I don't really know how to show you. You know how sometimes I always talk about how what I see compared to what you guys see is all very different? Well, that was a good example. Okay. There we go. Let's see what this looks like to you guys. Well, this is orange, a touch of red, a touch of blue, and a bunch of white. Does this look like brown to you guys? Let's see. Or just pure orange. I don't know why. These aren't looking like what they do to you. Okay, everybody at home. Who doesn't have, how are we feeling about the bun color? Do you have brown? Do you have orange? What would you guys be most comfortable with using? Orange and a bunch of white with a little touch of black in there? Because that's, even though this just looks like orange to you guys, I swear this, I mixed my dark brown with white. Ash biz, there we go. Easiest probably to do. Like, why? This literally looks like a creamsicle to you guys. Okay, if you got brown, use brown and a bunch of white. I was trying to help people who don't have brown. Sorry, guys. If you've got brown, add a touch of white in there, and then put a tiny, if you want to make it a little more orange, you can put a touch of orange. We're just trying to make like a tan color. It's just always hard when I never know what you guys have at home. But it looks like me and Baron were the only ones that weren't using brown. Everyone else has brown. So we're going to have that good old bun color, okay? We're going to use a good medium-sized paintbrush. And we are just going to fill in that bottom bun. It's not, we don't want that chocolate milk consistency. We're just looking for a thick, more paint than water. And we're just gonna pull that paint across the bottom, filling out that shape. And I'm usually very conscious of my brush strokes. Like I'm always painting like either left to right. I don't want to go up and down and side to side. I kind of want to try to keep it smooth. So you don't mix it with water like the chocolate milky consistency we're talking about, but you just want a wet brush. So you put your brush in the water, mix it around a couple times in the paint, but it's more paint than water. You want it to go on thick. But when you're working with acrylic, water's your best friend, you guys. If your paintbrush seems to not be pulling across well, dip your paintbrush in your water again and come right back to the canvas. Water is your pal. Ultimate Svengali, adding water to your paint like an eyedropper. Also, hello, yes, nice intro. Good to see ya. Are you painting a cheeseburger today? Or what? So you guys see how it's like thicker? I'll see if it even zooms in. Come on, camera, you can do it. No, it can't. Oh, and we're just gonna be blurry for a second. We want nice thick paint. Same with the top of our bun. I'm going right over top that orange line that we drew. And see how like right here, the blue kind of goes over the orange line a little bit? This is a good time to cover that right up. Whoop. And smooth out some lines if you want. Oops. So for those who was talking about water, here's one thing that I like to show to explain when you need water on your brush. We're still using the same brown, the same color that we've been using this whole time. We're gonna be adding some dark into there, but sorry guys if I'm not explaining good today. I'm just gonna try to show you. So do you see how right here this brush stroke looks like very like sandpapery? That's the best way for me to describe it. That is what happens when there's not water on your brush. That's like a dry brush effect. So when you see that the paint isn't filling up the place, like the spots of the canvas, like these strokes up here, that just kind of is a way to tell you that you might need some more water on your brush. And see, now that there's more water on there, I can fill in all those spots of the canvas. So dry brushing isn't a bad or a wrong technique. It's useful in some departments, but I'm just trying to show you that that's a nice way to tell if you need a little bit more water on your paintbrush. But like I said, we're still using the same color that we used on the bottom as we did on the top. Just filling in those shapes. Easy, right guys? Filled up those buns. Whoop. Okay, dokey. So now, if it's okay if you guys are still filling in, I'm not doing anything crazy. You are just going to add a little bit more of that dark brown, like Ash was talking about now, but you're going to add a bit of the dark brown to the light mixture that you made. Not the pure dark, you're just going to mix it in with that light color you've already made. And you're just going to do a couple little swipes at the bottom on the right-hand side of our burger. And it's okay if the paint's still wet on the bottom. Sometimes blending wet to wet kind of might help the process a little bit. But we're just going to put a little bit of darker color. You guys can't see it very well, so I'm just going to make it darker than Whoop, whoop. And it's brushed in from the right-hand side. You can use a bigger paintbrush if you want. Let's see how it's just a little bit darker than the rest of the bun. You can like blend edges together with just a clean paintbrush if you want. If you don't like how harsh lines are, clean off your paintbrush with just water on it and you can go at that line if your paint's still wet and kind of smooth it out. Sometimes for brush sizes that I suggest, it completely depends on the size of yours. Like if you're painting a lot smaller, you might want to use a little bit smaller brushes here and there. It's kind of up to your discretion at that point. Ooh, that's ice cold. We also are going to be bringing that dark color up to the top too. And I just said that about paintbrush size because maybe you want to use a bigger one if your top is a lot bigger. Completely up to you. But again, we're just going to be brushing in on the right-hand side. We're going to imagine the sun is on the left, so everything's brighter on the left and darker on the right. And you're just going to brush in. This paintbrush is not a good one. I'm just using like a big paintbrush. Come on. And I'm conscious of my brush strokes. I'm always doing left and right just to kind of imply the shape of the bun instead of going up and down in different directions. When you use the same direction for your brush strokes, it sometimes helps you. It cheats a little bit. It does a little extra work for you without having to go back in and change stuff. It's kind of implying the shape of the bun without too much extensive blending. We're going to be having a lot of seeds on top of the bun, remember, like if you look at the reference photo over here, so don't worry if it's not perfect. It's so funny, the camera catches so many things that my eye does not. Okay. How are we feeling about that burger so far? See how I'm not like too stressed about these lines? Just like I said, we're just gonna fill that up with sesame seeds. How's it going? Are we happy so far with the burg? Ash is happy! Yes! Great. Okay. We're cruising. We're cruising. On to the burger. I was about to say the bun, but we just did that. The burger. So, depending on what you got at home, if you only had one brown and it's the same brown that we made the light bun with, that's fine. We just won't be adding lots of white to this brown. If you have different browns, like do you have burnt umber, that works. But we just want it to be a darker brown so we can make that patty. Maria, it looks cool. Thanks. We're not even halfway through. Can't wait till the end. How much? I'm teaching you how to paint it at home right now. You can paint your own. That's the best part. So $0. Okay, We're getting to that Krabby Patty. I know it's not a Krabby Patty, but that's how I feel when I look at it. So I'm just taking out another good old medium-sized brush. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to acknowledge where that good old cheese is going to go. It's so funny. My burger's so lopsided. It's going a little off the side there, but that's fine. Okay. So we don't want to miss the cheese spot. So we're going to take that dark brown of ours, pure dark brown, right out of the tube brown. And it's not we're not worrying about that chocolate milk consistency thing that I taught you at the start. Was fully just to lay and map stuff out. Now most of the time we do want a good amount of paint on our brush. More paint than water. That doesn't mean no water. So see, I'm still dipping my brush in my water and just kind of swiping my paint brush through so that I get a paint on every bristle. I don't know if you guys can see. And you're just going to choose where you want that cheese. So we're probably going to go right under that tomato. And we're just going to draw one little line out. Beep. And then let's just make a wobbly. It doesn't have to have any rhyme or reason. Just kind of wobbly. And then it oozes down here a little bit. And then let's just say it goes over there. I don't know. It kind of looks like a mountain line. But see, I started underneath the tomato. I came down. I came across and kind of did a heart palpitation. Is that what that's called? And then we made that cheese goo down the burger. And it came back up and it just stopped over there. Again, it doesn't have to be exactly like mine. I didn't do anything special. I just don't want to paint this dark brown where the cheese goes. It'd be hard to paint over top. So now we're just going to fill in the leftover spots. And you can kind of be bumpy if you want. The edges can kind of go down a little bit. I'll bring it close so that you guys can see. Raw umber is a good enough brown. I'm literally... Oh, do you have raw umber, not burnt umber? Raw... I don't see why not. How do you feel about it when you use that color? I don't think I have burnt. I only have Van Dyke red. There's Van Dyke browns. I'm sure it's completely up to you. If you don't think the brown looks right, it's dark. Oh, then add a touch or two of white in there if you want. If it's super dark, add some white. That's fine, because it's not going to be the same as the color that you've already used on the bottom. Hey, Juju. How you doing? Good. Good, good. Look, the song is just literally just says, feel so good. That makes me laugh. Perfect timing. Okay, I'm just, again, slobbing that paint in there, because the burger is kind of rough, right? The burger has texture, it has shape, so it's kind of okay if you slob that brown in there. I'll bring that close. See what I mean? You can see that I just kind of put it on like this. Bloop, 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 bloop. Went over the edges a little bit. You can still see some of the orange through. I don't really care personally, you know? I think it's cool when you can see some of the edges. Bob Ross 2.0, my juju. Some like to call me Barb Ross. I'll take it. Oh, Doug! In Texas. Says hello to everyone. Hello to you. It's been a while. We're painting a big old burger. Perfect for Texas. Okay. How's that burger, you guys? And you know what you can do when it's still wet, which is fun? You're just going to go right into that white paint. Right into the white paint. Right into your wet brown paint. And you can kind of just, same thing, just kind of dab some little bits of that white right into your dark wet brown so that it blends on the page. Just little dabs of it, just to show a little bit of depth and dimension in that burger. So I'll bring it close, don't worry. So see, like I don't want the reflection. Here we go. Just with a little bit of white on my brush, I just went beep, 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 beep. Sound effects necessary. Check that out. Completely depends on you and what color, how much color you want in there, what colors you have. You can even put like a tiny touch of orange in there if you want. That's why I highly suggest that as you guys are painting to look very hard at your reference photo and see like what other colors are in there. Where do things get dark or light? I like always suggest for you to squint. If you squint at the picture, you can see like the darkest values, the lighter values. And it's really helpful when you are trying to reproduce something from a photo. Am I an artist, Ego lover? Heck yeah, I am. I'm a full-time artist. Most of my job is painting for people. They request a painting and I paint them whatever it is. But then when I stream, I teach you guys how to paint. So we're just like Bob Ross in it right now. And just people at home are learning how to paint this burger. It's a good time. Hello, how are you, KM? I'm great. Do you have TT? What does TT mean? Like Twitter? TikTok. I do have a TikTok. Taytayski. Same thing. I should have known. See, that's how much of a noob I am. I should have known TT was TikTok. Did I use a clean brush for the white? No. I actually went right into, with my brown, messy paintbrush, I went a little dab of white and I went right in there to blend it like on the canvas itself into the brown paint. My TikTok is the same as down here. Do you see like my, wait, where am I? See how my Instagram says Taytayski? That's my TikTok as well. That's my YouTube. That's my Etsy. Thanks, KM. If you come every Tuesday and Thursday, you can be a good painter too, okay? Alrighty. Dirk Slurp fan and DMBDF fan. Wowza. That is a username. What a mouthful. Okay, it's okay if you guys are still working on your burger, but I'm going to move on to that tomato. It's so easy, so it's okay if you guys are still dabbing away on that burger. I'll like talk slow. But the reason that I'm going to the tomato and not right to the cheese is because we don't want the brown to mix into our cheese. Night and a gift right now. KM, good night. Yeah, we're gonna let that burger dry. And we're just going on to that tomato, which is just gonna be pure old red, okay? Take some red out on your palette if you haven't already. Thank you for the follow. I'll get you back once I get back on TikTok after here. I haven't been on my TikTok in a couple days, I won't lie to you. Oh, Ego, just follow me across the board. I appreciate it. Means the world. How are you guys feeling if I start that good old tomato? That song's not appropriate. Oh, that's okay. You're allowed to have TikTok and not Instagram? Crazy. Okay, so with that red tomato, you guys, remember how I told you that it's so easy and you don't have to stress? I'm just using a little small, pointed, medium brush. Okay? And you are just gonna do a swipe of red. So easy. Remember, it's not like that chocolate milky consistency. We want more paint than water on our brush. Just a little bit of water. Whoop. And remember, if you want it to be a little more realistic, you will curve it down ever so slightly. You've got it curved down on the bottom. Do I paint colors in any specific order? Not necessarily, more like convenience. I pick them in convenience order. Of like what you'll have to paint over top or what goes underneath things. Like, for example, you don't really have to paint the red all the way to the end if you don't want. Like in our picture, the lettuce actually goes over top the tomato. So if you want to be exact, you like don't have to cover it all the way. Or you can if you want and paint over top of it. Doesn't matter. You do paint by numbers because you're not very good at things without instructions. Hey, well, I'll instruct you any Tuesday or Thursday. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by, at least for a bit. Okay, so we've got that red down, and the only reason why I'm jumping right to the next step is because we want that red to be wet. We're going to take a little swipe of white. I'm usually on for another hour, roughly. Yeah, at least another hour. But we are going to go to that tomato with that red wet paint. And remember, the sun is on the left-hand side. So we want the left-hand side to be a little bit lighter than the right. And you're just going to kind of blend in a little bit of that white. And see, since the paint is wet, the white almost like disappears right away. And turns kind of into that lighter pinky color. Right, do you see where I just put that little bit of white right here? Bring it closer. See ya, Eggo. Hopefully catch you later. And again, like, I'm not treating it too precious. I just kind of slobbed it on there. Because we are going to be putting one more bright white highlight on there, but we don't. We want to wait for everything to dry. So right now, this is just a nice little blend to show a little bit of color highlight. Have a good rest of your day if you don't come back. Oh, well, you're so kind, Eggo. Right back at ya. Okay, how's these burgers coming along? Looks pretty tasty to me. Bye. Because really now we're going to kind of have to wait a little bit to do either the green, I was going to say the grass, to do either the lettuce or the cheese, because we do want that tomato to be fully dry before we get into either of those. So one fun thing, what can we do while we wait for that? Unless you guys want me to just chill for a second, if I'm just being overwhelming or anything. How are we feeling? I hate this glove. That's how I'm feeling. Dry tomato, dry tomato. Do the plate. Pfft, beauty. There you go. Okay. So, if you have painted the bottom blue like we have, the best way to start the plate is by grabbing some pure white. My white's messy, but okay. We are going to grab some white. Thanks, Hayden. Okay. Just got a real medium-sized paintbrush. You're going to get some white, and there's going to be a little more water than we were doing before. Not the chocolate milky, but just a little bit more water. And we're just going to start by putting a slob of white right up to and underneath the burger. Okay? And see how since there's a little bit of water in there, the paint's going on a little bit translucent-ish. Not opaquely. I don't know what's the best way to say it. But you can see the blue underneath a little bit. I'm going right to the bottom. And over. And then don't worry, if you're doing a different colored plate than a white plate, like if you didn't paint the bottom, I'll get to what you should be doing. Realistically, you can be painting this with whatever color you want. Whoop, whoop. Because realistically, in the picture, the plate is like ginormous and it goes off the page. So we can either do that, or you can just round out a big oval around it right here. Oops. Punisher, nice, thank you. So we've started a nice old plate on there. And I'll show you close, like, see how you can still see that blue underneath? That's okay. Because once this dries, we're gonna go back on with a little bit more. Your brush always runs out of paint mid-stroke. That means you need more water on your brush and to, like, work out your brush. So, can you see my palette? Okay, so if I get some water in here and I'm going into my paint and I'm like, see how I like work my paintbrush? Oh, I probably shouldn't have done white. Sorry. I'm like working my paintbrush into the paint and like loading every bristle with paint. Does that like make sense? And then coming back onto your palette and it should, or palette, canvas, and it should go on a little bit smoother and a little bit further. Hi, beautiful. I missed your stream. Face, no, you just came halfway through. You didn't miss it. You're still here. We still got some burger to paint. You know what we're actually going to do, you guys? Sorry, I didn't tell you before. We're actually going to bring that white down a little bit more. We're making burgers, 100%. 100%. I'm glad so many people were excited about the burgers. We're painting pancakes on Thursday too, you guys. Don't miss the pancake stream. So what I'm doing here, we painted that oval, and now we're just going to kind of come down and bring it flat. It almost looks like a boat. Okay, the cheese is white right now. Don't worry. It will be yellowy orange next step, I promise. It's just white for now, okay? Just white for now. We're doing a classic cheeseburger, okay? Or like I said, some people, there are maybe a couple people painting Beyond Beef burgers. That's fine as well. Because Beyond Beef burgers are actually quite delicious. Okay. We've got that table going. And you know what? Since we've got our white out, we are going to, with a little teeny brush, okay? We're going to go into our white and maybe touch a touch of yellow or a touch of orange. We're making those sesame seeds at the top. So let's do both, actually. A tiny touch of orange, a tiny touch of yellow, and then a lot of white. Like, we basically want these seeds to be white. Let's see if I bring it close, if you guys can see. Oh, bueno. Good to see ya. Do you see how it basically looks pure white, but I swear there's some yellow and orange in there? What is that? Okay. We've got this light color. Perfecto. Hello, Glowsfire. And we're literally just gonna, with this tiny brush, we're just gonna start putting on some little sesame seeds. Beep, 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 beep. What's very dark blue? Oh, the paint? Hey, it can be whatever you want it to be. Okay, guys, see it close up. Some are different sizes. Some are gonna go right over top of the bun. We're just gonna go crazy with sesame seeds. But they're kind of always in a left to right, or like kind of like a little bean shape. just gonna keep doing that. Beep, 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 beep. Oh gosh, that one, I just did a bubble on the top there. This should be just a fun part, just slobbing on paint. Oh my gosh. You can rub them off if you make ginormous ones like I just did. Or you can keep them if you want. I won't be one to hate against a thick sesame seed. As you can see too, if you squint in the picture, they kind of get a little overlappy. There's a lot on the top, but you can put as many as you want. You don't even have to put sesame seeds. Like maybe you're someone who hates sesame seeds on your burger, then don't do it. But yeah, this makes me want to eat a burger bad. Okay, okay. This is just a time-consuming part. And for some of you, maybe if you're having trouble making them small enough, don't push too hard on your paintbrush. That'll help you make littler ones. If you like touch the canvas like super, super lightly. It's time consuming. Whew, makes my arm sore. Okay. We've got some sesame seeds. Beep, 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 beep. Jenny in Jersey! Oh my gosh. I forgot about y'all. I need to buy one of your paintings. I want you to ship it to me. I saw that post. And I forgot about it until just now when I just saw your names. But I was serious. I'll come back. Don't let me forget. Pick whichever one you want me to have and I'll buy it. Look at that. Adrian is right. There you go. You can use the back of your paintbrush if you are struggling to make smaller ones. Nailed it. Even if you don't have oh, you mean if the dollar store paintbrushes just aren't helping? Yeah, that's fair. But even, yeah, see, look, guys, I'm making some with the back of my paintbrush. Thanks for helping the class. Adrian and Eva have just been assisting class today. How's that, you guys? See, like, some have, like, no rhyme or reason. We are going to be painting little tiny shadows underneath some of them just for effect later. There you go. But yes, Adrian is right. Dollar store paintbrushes can sometimes be a nuisance. I get that. There we go. We've got some seeds on that bun. And it's gonna feel weird. Actually, maybe I won't make you guys do that. Sometimes I think about what would help or not, and I don't think that would help. Let me see. Yeah, no, it's fine. Okay. Y'all ready to paint some cheese? Some yellowy orange melty cheese. So we're going to use whatever the same kind of size as brush we've been using this whole time. And we want yellow, because who are we kidding? It's more yellow than anything. So you want a big chunky yellow. Take out some yellow if you don't have any more on your palette. And the first thing we're going to do is just color this fully in with yellow, okay? Your brown and your red should be dry by now, but be careful if it's not. We're just going to fill in those shapes with yellow. Get that goo in there. And again, you want lots of paint on your brush. Water to help pull it around, but more paint than anything. Okay. Dresden's out of here. Always love having ya. Say goodbye to Dresden, everyone. You're the best. Oh, you couldn't even see my hand. I was waving on the outside, I swear. Alrighty, and as usual, doing the same old game as we've been doing all time. We are going to grab a touch of white into our yellow. And a tiny touch of orange. But again, more yellow than anything. Tiny touch of white, tiny touch of orange. And we're going to go right into that wet paint. And you guys can't even see it. Okay. Like I said, we're going to get a little bit of white. I'll bring it close so you guys can actually see what's happening. Because we want to make some of those reflections on that cheese, right? As you see close up, I'm using white with a little touch of orange and a little touch of yellow. And I'm just going on the top half of that already yellow line that we've painted. Ooh, this is hard. Can you guys see it? See how we left the pure yellow, but then we added on the left-hand side on the top a swipe of white. A lighter color. If it's too wet and the color's just blending one to another, then just give your yellow a touch of time. But I hope that you guys can see. I never know if it zooms in. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Come on. It won't zoom. The lettuce is going to be the most fun part, you guys, I swear. Oh, we've got some pictures here. Should I show you guys? Ooh, we've got that drip in there. Okay, we'll wait for a little bit to see. Oh my gosh, I didn't even clue in. Oh my god, I'm so happy that you guys are loving burger night. Okay, don't worry guys, you can send in your pictures a little bit after we do this lettuce and I'll show everybody's. But we're still on that cheese, okay? And now we just want to take our yellow, just take the tiniest touch of red or orange, because yellow and red make orange, right? And we're just going to put a little dark spot right by that melt. Don't worry, again, I'll bring it closer. And we're going to put a little bit of darker orange or red and yellow. Again, on the right-hand side, because that's the dark side of our burger, okay? See what I mean? It's just a little spot in there to make it look like the cheese has dipped a little bit in with the shape of the burger. And that's it, that's all on there. And now with the lettuce, and I'm telling you guys, I'm not lying, I think the lettuce is gonna be the most fun part. Because we're about to get squiggly, okay? So take out a green. If you don't have green, yellow and blue make green. Sometimes you gotta play around with, like I said, more yellow than blue, more blue than yellow. Add a little bit of white in there, whatever you want. Color mixing can be fun for some people. I won't lie to you that it's not my favorite all the time. But, okay, let's get some green in there. What does green lettuce look like? I say this every time. Green's my favorite color, but it's very difficult to work with for so many. Like I'm using Hooker's Green Hue Permanent. Would you look at that? And I'm just gonna take a little slob of that. Why do I feel like this song's not copyrighted? Okay. And I'm using a little paintbrush, okay? Wow, it's a crappy paintbrush. Let's just... Is lime green too bright? Nah. I don't think so. And if it is, like if you put it down and we color it and it dries and you think it's a little too too bright, then we can easily add a darker green or add a little blue in your lime and add it on top. And it might be nice for that like limey green to pop through. I'd use lime green for sure. All right, so we got that little brush. We got some green, whether it's lime green, whether it's hooker's green that I'm using, whatever you want. At this point, for laying out our green, it is kind of best to use a little bit more water, just so it goes on smooth and lightly, not thick. And you're gonna start on the side, okay? And we're literally just gonna go weep, weep, weep. You're just gonna paint swirlies. You can pick them like really irregular if you want, but we're just going. Swirly, swirly, swirly. Does that look crazy? It's okay, because we're putting a bunch of color on it to fix it, to make it look like lettuce, but that's just the easiest way. You're just gonna do like a swirly snake, just like whoop, whoop. It's okay, maybe it comes over the bun a little bit, like right there. Who knows? I don't know. Why not? Okay. Lettuce is crazy. Maybe we'll make it fling down there a little bit too. I don't know. There we go. Look at that. How those swirlies go. For me, that's fun. So I just hope that it's fun for you guys too. Rest in peace, I dipped into a wet blob of red. Like on your canvas it was red? And it mixed? Or when you like were on down here? If you mixed some red on here, literally just wait for it to dry and we'll just paint right over it. That's not a big deal. Got pearled into a swirl of green. That's okay. The swirl, like this is again just kind of like how we did those orange shapes, like those orange outlines. These green ones are going to be pretty much covered up once we color everything. This is just kind of to show you where and how to start mapping it out a little bit. Okay. Exactly the spot that you pointed to. I'm sorry, I should have made it more clear. You make sure everything's dry. Also, everybody, feel free, like, if your water is very colored, like, lots of pigment and paint in there, it might affect your colors once you put your paintbrush into them. So feel free anytime, change out your water for fresh water. Sometimes you need it. You never know. But like I said, if you got some of that red into your green, literally not a big deal at all. That does make me feel like we do need to wait maybe a minute or two because some people's might still be wet as well, you know? So, just so we are ready for our next step in a minute or two, let's just get out a little bit of black onto your palette, okay? Here's Justin coming in hot in the comments. Good call. In the meantime, what is everybody's favorite burger topping? I'm just such like a just such a barbecue gal, you guys. That like is sauce like a fair thing? Like is barbecue sauce like a fair topping? Is that a topping? Ooh, pickles is actually. You guys just saw my ADD just click hard there. Lettuce! Like, when a burger has crispy lettuce, fresh, crispy lettuce like A&W. That's why I love A&W, because they always have like big pieces of crispy lettuce. I know, I'm like, barbecue sauce? I do love sauce. I love like a good barbecue burger with like crispy onions on it. Like, get some. But no, I think I'd have to say lettuce. For sure. Okay, I'm gonna give me 4 seconds as I just like drool over burgers. Feel free to change your water, refill your drink, get a snacky. We're just letting everything dry, and then we're gonna put some lettuce in there, and we're like almost done. Pretty crazy, hey? Give me like 4 seconds. Yes, right now, Adrian, go to the bathroom now. Oh my gosh, you guys, this burger is looking fantastic. Also, I'm wearing my Baby Yoda shirt today. I just realized I probably should not be painting in this. Don't worry, I'm assuming that you guys are still, like, doing things. Don't worry, we don't have to get to it right now. Okay, let me just realize and think how I'm going to teach the rest of it to yous. Okay, yep. Okay. How y'all doing? The burger's fun, I feel like. Who'd have thought? And for some of you guys who've been coming for a bit, Leia, the last few we've been doing have been like my aunt, my photographer aunts. What do you call them? Pictures. And I was just on her Flickr looking for reference for other things, and she had this great picture of like pancakes. A stack of pancakes with like a fork and a knife. So that will be what we're doing Thursday. Not tomorrow. Thursday. Wow, it is just gross outside in Calgary. It's just like muggy and overcast and with bacon. We should put bacon on the burger, but oh, you know what? You're right though. Pancakes and bacon, that's actually this is a debate that I always have with Dan. Do you guys eat pancakes or waffles or whatever with like peanut butter and syrup? Does anybody else do that? That's literally the only way my whole life. We always grew up with just peanut butter and syrup on them. And he thinks it's weird. And sometimes bacon. That's why I thought of it. You guys, back me up here. Looks delish. Max Brown! Hey, Max Brown! Thanks for the prop. Just... Is that what you're expecting of that little mouth? Because this burger does look delicious. I feel like I'm gonna have to go to McDonald's after this. My kids love peanut butter and Nutella. Rarely do they have syrup. Oh, you guys. Nutella and peanut butter at the same time. I never thought about that, but that like makes a lot of sense actually. Dan is Nutella guy, so maybe I should suggest that to him. It's like a Reese peanut butter cup. Duh! Oh my god, you're right. What have we been missing our whole lives? If you guys live in Calgary, I actually talked about pancakes because, like, for people, just to give y'all some history of Calgary. Just kidding. But during Stampede, here in Calgary was a huge event, the biggest outdoor show on earth. We have free pancake breakfast throughout the city for the whole week or 2 weeks that it happens. Usually, not in COVID times. But the company that provided the pancakes and the pancake mix made big bags for everyone. It's like, Stampede's canceled, but pancakes aren't. And we just bought one from Cinder and Sage, if you guys are local. Get your own pack of pancakes. We're going to make them in the name of Stampede. Cornbread Man says, my kids love cornbread. Do you like cornbread? Hilariously enough, I frickin' love cornbread. So you've Thanks for gracing our stream with your profile picture. And now I'm even more hungry. The burger wasn't making me hungry enough because the cornbread makes me even more hungry. I'm drooling already. Do you like cornbread? That's so funny. Oh, and then he drops a prop. I wish I could give you a prop in return, Mr. Cornbread Man. That's the real MVP today, you guys. Now I gotta go McDonald's and cornbread here. Okay. Are we all back? Is everybody ready to paint some lettuce? All right. All right, all right, all right. So, this is gonna feel really weird, you guys. I promise you it's gonna feel weird, but it will turn out in the end. Because what do we do in class? We trust the process. Okay, regular old paintbrush. We've got green. The green that you were using with this watery down mixture. You're gonna take like the tiniest touch of black ever. Remember, very tiny. Because it'll, like, see, I took too much and now my green is just black. You had to redo your cheese and tomato, so you're all wet and we'll play catch up later. Okay, that's okay. You might be able to do some of these steps. Just you play it by ear. So now I just have like a darker version of this green, okay? And what we're gonna just be doing in some odd spots, we're just gonna be adding, because again, remember, squint at this picture and you can see that there are black shapes throughout the lettuce, right? And it's just shadow and value to show the different movement of the lettuce. So we're gonna come up underneath some parts of the bun and just kind of cover in some of those little swirls that we've made. Kind of like paint by number in a sense. You're gonna find some of these little spots. Maybe let's just do a little line at the bottom of the tomato. Let's fill in that hole of that little swirly. Think of where some of the shading will go. The sun's from over here, so the bun would give a little bit of shade. A little bit of shade. And remember, the right side of our burger is the darkest side of the burger. So let's just put a couple darker spots down there. Fill in some of those loops. And look closely, like there's no rhyme or reason. It looks weird as heck. I know. Don't worry. Just a couple spots. So Baron, like you might be able to do some of them because they're not super close to your tomato. All right. And we kind of have to let that dry. So while we let, then like, don't worry, like see there's big white spots still. We're gonna be going in there with bright green next, just to fill in some of those spots. So it's okay, there's some dark along under the bun, there's some dark where it would be on top of the tomato, and there's some dark on the right-hand side. Because we always have to remember the sun is coming from over here. So the darkness is on the right side. Like my glove. The darkness is on the right side. Okay? Okay. And now since we have some black on our palette, I forgot what it was called for a second. We actually probably don't, yeah, okay. So we still have the brown of the burger or the bun, whichever brown you want. There's really not, this is a very minuscule part, so it's not a big deal. We're going to remember what Adrienne was saying, how you can use the back of your paintbrush if you want to do tiny little spots. We're basically just doing little outlines, or not outlines, a couple little shadows underneath some of our sesame seeds. So we have the brown, like I was saying before, whichever brown you want, the darker version of the bun or the burger. Oh, Daryl sharing my broadcast. Thank you. I'm using like a tiny little brush. Oops. Doesn't have to be tiny. Whichever you use to make the seeds in the first place work. You can just really lightly and pretty sporadically, like I would add more water on your paintbrush so that it's not too stark of a line. Just go right underneath some of these little seeds. And again, this is another detail, or like if you want to do this just to add more detail for a little bit more realism or whatever you want to say, go for it. If you don't care about the tediousness of doing these little darker lines underneath these seeds, can you guys see here what I'm doing? Can I paint like this? Let's see. Oh, I can't. This is hard. Whoop, whoop, whoop. But remember, there's water on my brush, so it's easy to pull, and it will dry a little bit more lighter and translucent, so it's not just like a super stark, dark line. And by no means am I doing all of them. It can be very sporadic. Did I say that like 10 times? This is brown, so this is either the brown, like the dark brown of the burger that you're using, the brown of the bun that you used. If it's the same brown, that's cool. But just one of the out of the tube brown, so it's the darkest version of itself. You're just using water so that it is translucent, so it's not super pure paint going right on the page. I'm just using brown instead of black because it's just nicer. It's a little softer. Black, like I said, it's very overpowering as a pigment. It's a very strong pigment. I hide behind black in my paintings a lot. Sometimes paintings don't feel complete unless I put some black layers in them. Okay. And I'll show you guys up close how I did not do even close to all of them, but it just helps. Maybe the big ones, I kind of focus on some of the big guys, but realistically throughout here, like none of these have any, none of these have any. I just did a couple here and there. And I'm just like puttering around on small details until we can get to that grass. I called it grass again. Lettuce. You can even like toast up. You can put a little bit of that same brown on the side of the bun because like maybe the bun got a little toasty. Again, don't have to do this if you don't want to. I'm just showing extra detailed parts if you like. Like one of my aunts who used to do my paint nights all the time, she would usually like spend another hour after I was done and just like touching it up and cleaning it up and doing it how she liked at the end. Because I could take forever teaching you every single little spot, but sometimes it's kind of nice for you guys to get the base and then you go like figure stuff out for yourself. That's like the best part of painting. But see how, that's what I meant by like crisping up the side. It got a little toasty on the Barbie. Yeah, no, I think that's good. Now for some more lettuce, or I'll just, let me know guys, am I just cruising too fast? Do you want me to give you a second? How's the lettuce looking? I mean, not lettuce, seeds looking. Are we ready to move to the lettuce? We're basically just going to be using green, white, and yellow will be the little final colors. Full speed ahead. Beauty. I need a little bit more white on my palette. So what part's super wet? Your lettuce? Okay, that's actually not terrible. If it's a little wet, not the end of the world. If it's super wet, not the best. Literally blow it. Acrylic should never take longer than like 3 minutes to dry. Yeah, I'm a bad judgment of time, but acrylic paint does dry very quickly. Doesn't hurt to give it a little... Oh, is it like... Does it come in tubes like this? Is this what you mean by dollar store paint? Artist series. Give her a good blow. Or a fan, if it's not too globbed on. Which is fine. Baron, there's nothing wrong with putting the paint on thick. I just like try to go like a little quicker just for the purpose of the class. Yours should dry a little bit quicker, Baron. Like I said, nothing wrong with painting thick. I just try to make the classes a little bit quicker. Even though 2 hours isn't quick, I probably should make them 1 hour, but it's just impossible. Okay. Know what I'll deal, you keep going. Okay. Cool. So we've got our green. So what we are going to do first before we add any color to it, we are going to go in some of these spots right underneath the dark and with more paint than water. Okay, guys, don't worry. I'm going to look at everybody's. Oh, I did say we're going to do the lettuce and I'll look at everyone's pictures. So I am kind of roughly following the shape of my squiggles that I made and going where the dark that we already put, we're just going to put some regular green around it, whether it's lime green, whether it's the same as the green I'm using. We're filling in these spots. You can paint them kind of squiggly with every brush stroke if you want to give that some texture in there. But it's when we're going to be adding the white and the yellow-green layers is when the lettuce will really be coming together. Because right now she just looks like a Loch Ness monster. So do you see close up? Always let me know if something's stressing you out, aka me. While you guys do that, let's go look at some pics. Okay, oh, well, we can start with Casey's little pet rat that we were talking about. I don't know if she's still here. Aw, look at the little thing. Looks like a little mouse. Okay, let's see. Who do we got? Oh my gosh, Eva. You guys, this is Eva's burger. So far. Check it out. Literally perfection. Okay, cool. Nice, Hayden! Killing it as usual. Oh, and we lost one. We've got a sleeper. Okay, who we got here? Yes! Look at that squiggly lettuce. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love them. Love. Oh, and okay, we've got a lover of peanut butter syrup. One thing, whoever was telling me about the peanut butter and syrup, when you send me your picture, send me them again, but where... Do I have it on here still? So do you see... See this little picture thing that I have right here? See how it says keep in chat? Like when you take a picture, swipe the screen over to the left so it says keep in chat so that I can see it, because right now it's disappearing message. I can't show it on my computer unless you do it that way. Oh my gosh, look! It's so good. You can't even tell. Oh, I see. You can kind of see the little red swipe, but other than that, that's just perfect. Check that out. So Creative Ellie is who came last. She was late, and she's already, like, done. And then look at her squirrel had a balloon. I just have to show that again, because that's so cute. Oh, my Lanta. Okay, well, you guys are nailing it, as usual. Professionals over here. Okay, dokay. So we are going to get some white with our green. And if you want it to be even more, it's depending on what your green is like. If you want it to be a little bit more like fresh lettucey, maybe you want to put a little bit of yellow into your concoction we're about to make here. But like the tiniest touch of yellow. Oh, hello. I didn't know if we'd see you today. How you doing, Mama? Okay, we've got green. We've got white. Okay. And you want to touch a yellow in there? Go for it. It might make it look a little more like edibly green. And I'm using a little bit smaller brush. Just a touch smaller. Oops, I'm missing my hand today. You do want more paint than water on your brush. And we are going to start just kind of dabbing in the light spots, okay? So, oh, mine needs to be... just not showing up nicely on the screen today. The colors I'm choosing, they just look so weird to you guys. Okay, so you're gonna kind of try to remember where your little swirlies were. Not the end of the world if you don't. And we're just gonna highlight just some spots. Like you're coming up around. Remember, we kind of did some swirls, so let's dab on the top. See that close up? It looks really washed out on your screen, but what can you do? The lime green might look really nice right now. Hey, who was doing that? There was Ashley, I think. Maybe this one has some lighter. But again, you always have to remember to look at your painting from far away. Because if you're really up close and you're like, ew, these globs don't look like anything, and it doesn't make any sense. But sometimes when you step back and see the painting from far away, you're like, wow, I could make that lettuce with only a couple little brush strokes, and the eye thinks that it's lettuce. So, thanks, Lisa. How do we feel about this, you guys? It's quiet, so I never know. I hate what the color looks like. Here's the green. So we should have a couple values of green in there, right? We've got that dark green underneath with the black in it for the shadows. We have just the regular color that we started out with inside to have the medium tones, and then we've highlighted a couple of the tops with this really light green. Right? I'm just gonna, if there's some like extra spots left, I'm just gonna add them dark in there. Alrighty. Then. Good old piece of fresh lettuce on top. Which I think it's my favorite topping is lettuce. And realistically, we just got to get some pure white out to finish it. But I'm going to let you guys play with that lettuce for a bit because I imagine it's probably a little bit of a different process for some people. Don't feel bad if you have to work it out a little bit more and fill in some shapes and go back to your squiggle. Oops. Oops. How are we feeling, you guys? My green just doesn't look very appetizing on the screen. But that's a burger if I've ever seen one, right, folks? Let me see on our screen over here. Do we get any more? I forgot to check if anybody sent me any. Let's see. As requests. Let's see. Where did my mouse go? Yes! Perfect. See? Oh, wait, but you guys can't see what I can see. Perfecto. Sent them in perfect. Yes. What'd you say? It was you and your mom, right? My mom and I are loving burger night, and they look great. I love it. I love it. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Right, I think I showed you guys all these too. Love the squiggly lettuce. Oops. Okay. I'll just show you guys if some of you feel like you're losing the squiggle of the lettuce or it just looks like a blob, you can easily with like a pure white with a touch of green in it, we can go across. Like on some of the tips. White just, I said I hide behind black paint. I also hide behind white paint. And look, we're going to follow that squiggly. And over here. So see, with just one more layer of white green on top, added a little bit more edge to that lettuce. I can just get carried away, so I'll stop. And, ooh, it's 9:52. Wowza. See, I always think it's going to be quick, and then they end up just not being. I feel like I don't have urgency when I think they're going to be fast. Okay, I'm just using a little brush. The same brush I was using before, but I have pure white on that brush. And I'm literally just going to, where's that? Let's do one little white highlight of that tomato. Oops. It's supposed to just be a line. I got a little wobbly there. Let's do a little bit of a pure white outline on that cheese, just there and there. Boop, boop. You can do pure white on the lettuce if you want to, but always kind of stay in the similar-ish spot because that's where the sun's coming, right? Maybe with pure white on just a couple of these seeds. Because the seeds aren't pure white, right? They have a little bit of yellow, a little bit of orange in there. Maybe put some pure white ones on that spot. If you want to touch a little splobs on your burger, you can, but it might be a little too bright. And same with your bottom bun, maybe with a little bit of water on your brush so that you can see that color underneath, but you can add some white to that bottom bun too. Buff it out with your hand if you want. That's just a classic Taylor way of solving a problem. Look what a white highlight does, you guys. It's insane to me how much more realistic some pure white touches can make something look. Ow. Your plate is also going to need a pure white line, but it depends what color you have made it. Because realistically, the plate would go almost come along the edge here. Almost right up to the bottom of the burger. You can bring the side of the plate down a little bit. Whoop. Oh my gosh. All right. We're basically done. Wish I had a little bit of shading on that plate to make it look like a plate, but the burger itself should be el complete. See, like even up here, I didn't really come all the way up with my blue background. And you can just go in at the end and fix some of it. You can either leave it if you don't care, or just with the blue you used from the start, you can just kind of clean up some of those edges. Because remember, there's no mistakes. You need this board to dry before you can bang out those details, but I'm pleased with this. Well, that is what I like to hear. Oops. Just cleaning up some of those edges. There you go. I just don't know how many of you went down to the bottom with blue, like Eva and us did. And Baron, I think, as well. This is very dependent on what color your plate is. We are just gonna, if you've been doing what I've been doing here, you're gonna go into that blue that you used as the background, and again, the tiniest touch of black, very small, hardly any at all. It might be like almost like a grayish color. I'm still using the same paintbrush. And from right underneath the burger, you're just gonna bring a little bit of that darker blue out a little bit. And I think that is really the last step. Are we done, folks? Let's go see. Do we have... Let's see. Oh, we've got El Complete. Do we have some pictures of some? If you want to see, like, I personally want to see Eva's. If she wants to share. Check this out with the drips. Creative as always. Ellie, love. Details to follow, but sir, beautiful. Beautiful. But I think that... What else do we got? Ooh, there we go. I love them. Love, love, love. Love. We will just... I need a thumbs up from somebody here before... Let's see. An A-OK. Before I... Oh, yeah, here we go, here we go, here we go. Check that out. Eva is complete. Check that heart in the side. Looks beautiful. I love that you went... She was inspired by you, Cinderella. Also, thank you for the uni. Oh my gosh. Check out... I love that pizzazz you got out of there, Eva. Good night. Good night to Eva, right? Is that what we're seeing? Heck yes, Eva says everybody else too. Look at that one, Janessa. Love. Love. Okay, here I'll help. You guys are just killing it. Oops, that's the wrong button. As usual. Okay, here, let's get that base here. We still have that color here, the darker gray, blue. Oh yeah, of course, you guys. I probably should have. Look, I didn't teach splatters. Yeah, I'll teach you how to splatter. Ego's back. Hello. Ego, sorry. You made it. We're just finishing up our plates here. Sorry for that pretend ending there. Okay. Good night, Lisa. Oh, good night, Daryl. Oh, I just saw those now. Thank you. Everyone for the props always. You're just spoiling me. Okay, so our plates have a little more value in there, hey? How much longer am I on? Not too much longer. It's 10 as we speak. We're just finishing up this plate here. And black is really going to finish her up for us. But remember, it's all kind of the same blending that we've been doing before, right? Like, the sun's over here, so this is the darker side. We are just going to finish it up with some black, but it's going to probably, people are going to need to wait a little bit if it's super wet, just so that I can show you guys. Show you guys quick, because some of you might need some extra time at the end. You're not being creepy, but I'm actually not an American. I live in a province because I'm Canadian. Okay, we've got a black line underneath the cheeseburger and coming out to the right-hand side because remember, that's where the sun is, so the shadow would come out this side. And it's 10:01 for me, so we're a couple minutes off, but you must live in a state. You're in mountain time like me. And we've still got that black on our paintbrush, and we are just going to outline that edge. Oh, Colorado. See, I'm Calgary, Alberta, so we're just above you. But my time's your time, your time's my time. Nikki's got a Canadian flag too. Love it. And that's why I called this a toque. That's the first giveaway. Ontario, Canada. Oh, so it's late for you, honey. And a line there. Midnight. Ash, you're Fort McMurray. That's where I grew up. Fort McMurray's got a special place in my heart. Do you have drinking water right now? You guys are our hat. We are your hat. That's really funny. I think the States looks like an elephant and we look like a camel. That's what I see when I see our shapes on a map. Ash got drinking water again. Hallelujah. Can't imagine. I lag a little when I talk. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes my internet just hates me. I don't know if you want. If you want to do a dark line, you can outline the side of your burger if you want. Not necessary. I'm just picking now. Always 8. I am Tuesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. And then this weekend I'll probably be on, but I haven't decided when. If you follow me on no, wait, you don't have Instagram. Just kidding. Instagram's where I post about all my info of what I'm doing, but that's okay. Yeah. That'll be great. We're painting pancakes. Making pancakes. I mean, making bacon pancakes. And I'm just going with, just because I'm picking just until you guys tell me to stop. But just keeping in mind where shadow should go if I think where the sun is. Putting a little darker on this side. My dad once made these 2-inch pancakes. Holy moly. That's impressive. Can you do a moose or a beaver paint night? Ooh. Yeah, I could. A moose would be a good one because, like, the antlers would be fun. I always try to think of, like, what wouldn't be too hard for people, but I think those... Oh my gosh, a beaver would be cute. How Canadian. Oh, I should have saved Thursday for a Canadian painting. For, like, Canada Day. Maybe on Tuesday the next week we'll do a moose or a beaver or something. Okay, guys, did we finish our... Maple syrup is Canadian enough. Hey, that's fair. That's true. That's true. Just blending some of that color in there. Oh yeah, we want splatters. You guys want splatters. Okay. I do have a YouTube. My YouTubes are actually just these recordings, basically, at the moment. But my YouTube's Taytayski as well. I'm Taytayski across the board, you guys. Okay, let's talk about splatter. So, my classic trademark. It's very hard for me to do it with these gloves on. Oh, thanks, Ego. Look at you, all the support today. Okay, I'm just going to do it, whatever, with the same size brush that we've been using. And you're just going to do like that chocolate milky concoction we were talking about earlier. So you can use your paintbrush to like scoop water. You'd probably want clean water. I'm kind of using dirty water at the moment, but... And you're just going to make that concoction probably a little bit more watery than chocolate milk, to be honest. Come on. And you're going to tap... Oh, I literally just... I've got paint in my eye somehow. Over my glasses, into my eyeball. Okay. Good thing my eyelashes are ginormous. Okay. We're going to give it a couple taps. Tap, tap. And you're going to hold it, whatever, about like a hangs loose away from the painting. You're literally just going to flick it. Give her a couple little flicks. Show you what it looks. Did it, your sub. You're the best, Ego. Do you see the splecks over here? That's kind of where we're playing with the splatter. Oh no. Oops. That's fine. You might want to like bring up some more white onto the plate if you want it to be... Where's my pure white? So brushes are tough. I don't really like, I just have a bunch of brushes. I don't think brushes are that important. But paints, I use acrylics and either golden or Liquitex paints. But people will use any brand they have at all. I'm a big advocate, as long as you have a couple different sizes of brushes, a small and a big one, and as long as you have black and white and a couple colors, you can paint along. What are we doing? We're doing pancakes, so like brown, black and white, maybe some yellow in there. Doesn't matter. If you're just painting for yourself at home, it really doesn't matter. I wouldn't suggest for you to go buy like the highest brands that I have if you're just painting for yourself. This is my job, right? So I have high quality ones, but you don't have to. You can make a lot of things happen with low quality paints. Does the canvas matter? No. This is from the dollar store. Like I bought the ones I use for paint night. Dollar store. Okay, guys. How's that booga? With some splatter on the side. Are we happy? Did Did the splatter, did that help, Baron? You can also use a toothbrush, like, you get a good old toothbrush, dip it in that same concoction you're using. I don't even know if I can do this with a... I can't even do it with a glove. And you use, like, you literally, like, lock and load it like a gun. Where am I going here? And you just, like, flick, spec. You can kind of control it a little bit better than a paintbrush, but... And you covered yourself. Oh yeah, I always forget, you guys. It's messy. Okay. Splatter's messy, but worth it. I probably got it on me too. Alright, should we see what we've got over here? Did anyone send any other pictures in there? Oh, heck yeah, they did. Check those babies out. I love the different, how everybody did different, different amounts of things. Like some people did huge patties, some people did lots of lettuce. I love that. You guys all did so good. Love, love, love. I think the lettuce is the most fun part, but that could just be biased me. Oh wait, I'm back to the top here. Check that baby out. Beautiful. Guys, I'm so proud. What colors am I using? Okay, let's see here. Oh, wait, I got another picture on here first. Do I have the pancakes on here? Check it out! Mama and Dada! Oh my gosh. Ava loves splatter. Oh, so... I'm glad that you enjoyed it. That's my favorite part too. Sorry, I didn't know you guys were still here. Oh my gosh. Perfecto. Look at that. Is that a little Canada flag in the top there? Ava. Eva, sorry. Oh my god, I didn't mean to call you. I didn't mean to call you Ava. My aunt's name's Eva, so, or Ava, so I just, that's my first, that's what comes out of my mouth first. I know it's Eva. I hate when people pronounce my name wrong too. I feel ya. Check out that beauty too. I was annoyed with my cheese, so I finger painted it. Love it. That's what I like to see. I love a good finger painting. Love a good finger painting. Did I get these ones? Yeah, I did. Okay, good. Good, good, good. You guys nailed it as usual. As usual. Hanging with your cat. Do I have a pet? I don't have a pet. I wish one day I'll have a dog. We just can't where in the apartment we live in. One day we will, okay? One day. What should my thumbnail be with this burger, you guys? I love it. It looks good enough to eat, right? Or do we enjoy food night, you guys? Oh, my glove. I don't know how people wear gloves all day, every day. My hand looks like I was, look at that, like I was in a bathtub for a long time. Ugh. Look at my little cutie Saturn though, isn't it cute? I feel like tomorrow I don't have to wear gloves anymore. I think they're healed enough. Who knows? A Berber, you pronounced them Berbers. Look at this good old Berber. I don't know what my thumbnail should be because the cupcake I already ate. I already did one where I'm eating it. That's boring. Well. That's the thumbnail. Okay, guys, you've got me for a minute or two. Do you, any questions? Any suggestions? Anything you hate about your burger? Your burger? You can give it more of a shadow underneath. Baron, this was fun, right? I'm glad that you made it to a live. Oh my gosh, you keep asking me about the colors. There's my ADD clicking. This is, I think I have the picture of the pancake in here somewhere. Do I? Yeah, we just need brown. I'd probably bring some yellow and orange. Maybe some blue. And always black and white. Love your paint nights. You're a great teacher and always make me laugh. Nikki. Girl, thanks. That makes me happy. And it's late for you. Staying up late for me, I appreciate it. That's the best. I love the paint nights too, okay? I know I keep saying that I'm going to cut them down to one and then I just never plan. I still am doing them twice a week. So we'll just see how that plays out. So much fun as always. Did you paint a burger this time or what did you paint? We'd always like to see what you paint too. You're sadly out of black and white or not. Okay, so it will be very difficult to paint it without white. I won't lie to you. White is very, very, very important. But we can make it happen. I did say you can make it happen with whatever you have at home. So white just will make it a lot easier. Okay, is that it? That all, folks? Thanks for coming as usual. I appreciate y'all. It was a dreary day. Oh, you sent me some pictures. Oh, you're in a request. Oh, that's why I didn't see you. Okay. Give me 1 second. It's because I haven't seen your messages yet. You're in my... what you call them? So you're in my message requests. Okay, here, I can see yours now. Here we go. Where did you go, actually? Nikki. There you are. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys can't see. You did all of them. I love that. Oh my gosh. You guys. Oh shoot. What have I done? Wow. You have nailed it. What am I doing here? Why did this just go out of control? And the baby Yodes. I haven't seen any of these messages until right now. Wow, nailed the squirrel. You put him in a tree. Okay, perfect. Nice, Nikki. Sorry I haven't seen these until now. I love seeing them all together. Oh my gosh, this is the best. Oh, you gotta get some Instagram. You can send me the pictures on Instagram. That's how I'm showing all those pictures is fully Instagram. But that's fair. That's fair. One day. Okay, you guys. I know. I'm sorry. I know you can't get it. That's fair. But are we done with our burger? I think so. That one was fun. I liked that one. Are we? I know. I guess I'm the one that says if we're done or not, hey? I think we are. Man, that was a cool one. Well, thanks, guys. Wait, Hayden! Hayden, can you hear me? Did we get a finished one from him? We didn't. Okay, well, hopefully we'll see Hayden's after. Again, you guys, if you share a picture on your story, you know I'll share it. I love seeing all yours, and all my followers love to see your guys' too. It gives people confidence to try it themselves. Yeah, other than that, see y'all Thursday, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Have a great night. Hey, anytime. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming. Obviously, tell your friends. It's so much fun when we have lots of people in here. That's my favorite part. Thursdays are usually the best because it's like people treat Thursdays as Fridays, basically. So, Thursday, catch y'all at 8 p.m. Your mom's doing her hair so she can't take a pic. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. She'll send it in. I'm glad you're still here. Now you have to go find someone else as great as me to watch. Ego, you're just so kind to me today. Thanks. Okay, you guys. See you Thursday. And then maybe Saturday. Okay? Ooh, who knows? And keep up with you on, YouTube, Caffeine, the whole shebang. Follow me on everything. If you follow me on Caffeine, we can talk like we are right now. That's the best. Okay? So, you guys are the best. Catch you on the flip side, and we'll talk soon, okay? Bye. I did say Thursday. Don't you see right here? Look, this says Tuesday. So you'll never forget. Thursday, Tuesday, Saturday? I don't know. Okay, you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.